Hello everyone and welcome back to another comic book review video. Today I will be talking about the books I got this week. So I'm hoping this is a short video because just three books, but there's a lot to talk about those books. So I'm trying to do it as quickly as possible because I'm sure at least one book would necessarily uh, need a whole video just to talk about it. Let's get started. So first off, I want to talk about the Green Lantern. So I did not talk about issue number 3 because I had already put it away. It was one of those books in that huge stack that I did not get to cover, except some of the books that I actually chose to talk about. But this has been a really fun, interesting book. It's got some of that weirdness that is Grant Morrison's writing, but it's sort of mixed in with some of the crazy Silver Age ideas, or even pre-Silver Age ideas. The whole 1950, 40, late 40s, early 1950s, science fiction stuff that, just big ideas that make no sense at all, but they're fun. This issue doesn't have a lot of that, but we learn that the person that's been running this sort of group called, I believe, the Black Stars, it's the Black Stars. Uh, yep, the Black Stars. Might be the daughter, or is the daughter of a really old Justice League villain, the Starbreaker, the so-called cosmic vampire, which showed up back in the issue, I believe, issue 96 of the Justice League book. Really obscure character, didn't have a lot of follow-up appearances throughout JLI history. The last time Starbreaker showed up was around, I guess, 2009, 2010. And in fact, this cover is an homage to the original cover, which is this one. This is here is the cover. Actually, is the this is a picture of my actual issue, but I wasn't going to look for it in my box right now because it's way up in the back of the closet, so I wasn't gonna use that anyways. One of the curious things about this series, besides the crazy ideas that it has, plus it goes really deep into DC science fiction world, Green Lanterns, as well as the Justice League now with this character, which is basically a new character, you know, is the fact that it doesn't really follow the traditional serialized storytelling aspect. So each issue sort of ends, and you don't really necessarily pick up from where the last issue left off, but it does follow the narrative the of the whole story arc throughout the series. In this case, it sort of picks up from last issue where Hal apparently killed a one of the traffickers that was stealing worlds and selling them to the highest bidder. The whole idea of shrinking worlds and selling them, that's just plain Silver Age stuff. Anyways, so this issue doesn't follow from that. We actually see her looking to enter into a vault where the sort of doppelganger that showed up, this Hollywood doppelganger that showed up in the first issue, kind of finally shows up in this issue. So that was like 2 issues ago that was left untouched as a plot point until it character shows up, but I'm trying to find him. Here we go. So this sort of weird character doppelganger that showed up, in issue 1 finally sort of comes back to the story. And then of course you have this mysterious guy talking to someone, one of the members of the Black Stars, I believe. This guy, which actually turned out to be Hal Jordan in disguise. And before the big reveal at the end of the issue, he's basically telling this other person about what happened to Hal Jordan after he actually killed the trafficker, right? So even before we get to sort of find out what happened to Hal, what the Guardians did for his actions, we get the story of how he and another group of Green Lanterns defeated Sun Eater. So because of the big reveal that Hal seemed to be taking off duty with the Green Lanterns for his actions, decided to join up with the Black Stars. So because we don't really know what happened, and this is Hal Jordan telling a story of what supposedly happened, it seems that we're going through a bit of a cliche here, which is pretend the law of the officer, the detective, whatever law enforcement agent goes rogue to go undercover and join the criminal organization to sort of get them, right, to get all the evidence and going undercover, which seems, because we don't know really what happened, this is just a telling of that event. It might be a lie. It might be, how not really killing that trafficker, making it seem like he did, so he kind of gets out of the Green Lantern Corps and goes undercover as a double agent. Goes undercover and into the Black Stars and find out what they're up to, because they've been causing a lot of problems lately, and it seems that the Black Stars are connected to other events that Hal's been investigating. So very interesting book. So yeah, moving on. Young Justice number 2. In this issue, we sort of get a 2-for-1, stories here. So it picks up from where it. So that gives us basically two artists, Patrick Gleason and Emanuele Lupacchino, doing showing the art duties, where Gleason does the main present day story that started in issue number 1, while the Emanuele Lupacchino does the whole Wonder Girl. Lupacchino, I think it's Lupacchino. It's Italian though. Lupacchino. Anyways, does the Wonder Girl section of it. So basically, they're still in Gem World. That all these kids are separated. Wonder Girl is stuck with Ginny Hex and, as of now, the unnamed Teen Lantern. I mean, besides her cover appearances, we really haven't seen her properly introduced in the book. So just not for us still not, so we don't know what her real name is just yet. Uh, and so and Team Drake Robin is with Amethyst. So it opens up really with uh, two guys sort of plotting against Amethyst, and then Robin and her showing up to to sort of fight them. Uh, so anyways, so that's the whole, and then the girls reunite with Robin and they meet Amethyst, and then they have to deal with Lord Opal, who has decided to take who has taken over most of Gem World, and so that's the basic main story. Then we have in the middle of all of that, the whole Wonder Girl section, uh, which opens up with her fighting Despero. And what is funny about this is it seems like nobody recognizes her. I assume she's been around for a while, but like nobody really remembered or seems to recognize her. Which is a kind of gag that goes in the back of you know, uh, after that, in the you know, with Ginny Hex, like they don't really know who she is except Teen Lantern does. Uh, but part of the Wonder Girl stuff is she has to deal with Zeus. So Zeus is her grandfather, which I kind of decided to check on her continuity, and it seems and so it sort of follows from the New 52, where um, it was explained that she actually is Zeus' granddaughter because her mother had a relationship with one of Wonder Woman's brothers from the Azarello run, the New 52 Azarello Cliff Chang run, where we learned that Wonder Woman had a bunch of brothers spread out, and so this was Lennox, a British soldier, who is Cassie's father. In at least it was in the New 52. So it seems that Bendis is following that. Anyway, so Zeus shows up and tells Cassie that she has a great destiny and gives her this amulet here, this little amulet here, which will grant her power and make her give her more power. Then she gets like a lasso and a gauntlet, like her gauntlets here and lasso, and this makes some sort of Trinity of Power thing. And Cassie rejects it, simply saying that she didn't do anything to earn that power, and that she will have to do something to actually earn it, not just be given to her, or just because Zeus determined that she will be this great destiny. It's really really up to her. And so let me see. And so this panel basically uh, has been quoted all over Twitter recently, since it came out. So I've seen a few people showing off this specific panel with her lines, which is interesting because in the light of 2019, it does seem to have a certain uh, you know sort of the whole women will not be determined by men, which is what I think a lot of people are getting, which is fine. But it also kind of goes into a much more universal element. Basically, the self determination of individuals, because as individuals, we usually sometimes have to live up to other people's expectations. Uh, so, again, that's a level of interpretation. The other one is basically, uh, how teenagers react, which is, you know, as a former teenager myself and everyone else, we all know that our parents sometimes put on expectations on us. So again, it's sort of like that. What seems to be teen rebellion. It's just, and it's pretty much consistent to the character from before. Sort of rebelling against what our parents want. That I think that's what Cassie was back in the when she first showed up. She sort of went against what her mother wanted. She wanted to be Wonder Girl. Her mother didn't want that, uh, but she ended up getting her way, and that's pretty much in this panel as well. So it has a lot of level of interpretations. This thing, which is just this little panel here. So you can put in like a sort of political point or feminist point, or just as a general, you know either individuals as self-determining their identities, or teenagers still learning who they are, and basically not having any sort of authority figure, be it your parents, be it your grandparents in this case, telling you who you should be. But as kids grow up, they slowly learn, even from their mistakes, who they're supposed to be, but not basing themselves on expectations put on by others. Anyways, I hope I didn't mess that up. Finally, and this is gonna be a quicker one, is Archie 702. So I've been picking up Archie since issue 700. Been pretty much enjoying the story and the art in here as well. So I don't know, it's weird me picking up Archie, but I'm finding the story interesting enough. I've been sticking with it for a while, I guess. Uh, Interesting stories. Still, you got you very much those funny Archie moments. So I don't know. I'm finding it. I'm feeling the Archie books. At least for the time being. I'm actually try to get some of the Mark Waid stuff just to check it out as well. Anyways, I don't want to dump almost 90 minutes of video, so I'll end it here. Don't want to go beyond 20. So until next time, keep smiling.